Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts.
Hey everyone, hiding from the camera today, battling a brutal fever, but we got a break in the fever, so let's take advantage of it. We're going to look at CGC, ACB, TLRY, APHA, CRON, KSHB, MPX, N, OGI, HEXO, and TGOD. First things first, the news event for the day is that the potential Attorney General, the Attorney General nominee Barr, said he would not go after marijuana companies, and that was a little bit of a misinterpreted title initially. Fidelity put out some news, and the news was highlighting the negative, and it was talking about how he said he would potentially support a law against marijuana, but most of the later articles are highlighting that he said he would not go after them. So overall, that is the most important part, and we saw consolidation today in the sector. Perhaps, misinterpreting this article in news was a reason for following through with a little bit more pullback, but overall, we were due for consolidation. And don't forget that we need to form weekly higher lows on all of these names after such a massive 3 to 4 week run. And the same thing with SPY. I'm pointing out something different in my SPY video in terms of exponential moving averages that I'm watching, which I'll do after this video. But it's a bearish reversal candlestick on CGC, high volume. We had the initial bull move in the morning. So bulls started the morning strong and in complete control. We had some tops with 44.73, 44.88, and 44.62. So not exact tops, but clear that there was rejections from those levels where we saw it hit. We pulled all the way back to 41.07. Nice oversold bounce. Hit it again, pulled back, hit it again. Big pullback. So clear resistance in the mid to upper $44 range. The bounce play this morning on CGC, we got very overextended, and we were looking at a bit of a descending wedge. It didn't really fully develop on the 2-minute time frame, but just clear little lower highs, and it was just a trend change on the 2-minute. Lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. There's your bull break when we get over 41.68, and obviously significant follow through all the way back up to the high of the day, which ended up being a double top. Someone in the chat room pointing out the potential of that being a cup and handle pattern. Where are we? So potential cup and handle pattern with the left side of resistance, the pullback, the right side unable to break it. Healthy consolidation, declining bear volume, form that higher low and see continuation. So a nice little follow through move with an extra $1 or so of upside after those resistances broke. Those are just some of the short-term trades that us day traders keep an eye on. I didn't do a whole lot today, and I actually paper traded because I was feeling so poorly. I wasn't functional for most of today, but as soon as we broke $40, I entered position 1 out of 2 for the oversold bounce and then sold for a 1.5% gain with my paper trade. That's been a long time since I've done that, but good practice. So where do we stand on consolidation now? Hourly time frame 41.07 was support. We broke just below it. That's one of those plays where we flush. That's why I was using 41. The 5-minute RSI was in the teens. When we flush and break that support, that's the last little push down. I market bought in when $41 broke and saw that short-term bounce. So on any bounce from here, we're looking for an hourly lower high to be set compared to 44.62. And again, daily consolidation is needed. So after 40.80 was the low of the pullback, you see we have no support because of that big news move. So just be aware that daily consolidation is needed and it will be healthy. We'll look for a higher low. Just visually, I'd say bull flag possibility if the bulls can hold $40, and then ideal for the bulls to maintain to keep control, I would say 36 in the $37 range. And that's just visually saying, all right, if we pulled back to this level, could we see continuation? Yes, absolutely. If we pull back further, equilibrium would be the more likely setup, and it would be a bit of a red flag if we pulled back multiple days in a row and broke that $37 visual mark that I just picked out. So we have earnings season for the overall market coming up. Well, we're in the middle of it now, but we're just starting, I should say. But we got the financial sector in the full swing of things this week. We got Netflix in the tech sector to start it off on Thursday, then more tech sector after that. So again, if the S&P 500 consolidates, we break correlations. And this is a point I want to make where correlations break due to volume. And that's essentially you have low volume. That's when the bots and automated trading make their mark, and we see correlations strong. And that's when it's not a sector-wide event. So when you have an overall market dump like we saw to end the year, that's when everything's correlated significantly because there's so much volume and it's so much of a dump. But if we're talking individual names, so if CGC sees a big news release and has big volume yesterday and big volume today, that's going to break correlations with not only its own sector, but the S&P 500 as well. And that's because there is a lot more retail trading, a lot more dollar volume from retail traders that take hold and take priority, almost drowning out the automated bot trading. They're obviously still doing their thing, but it's not dictating price action because there's so much other dollar volume coming in. So when it's an individual name, volume breaks those correlations, and that's what we saw with CGC to a certain degree the last 2 days with regards to trading counter what SPY was doing in some instances. But again, if we do see market consolidation for SPY to pull back on the weekly time frame, I'm absolutely anticipating that that's going to add a little bit of momentum on these pullbacks as well. So let's get into it. ACB, bearish reversal, spinning top candlestick, big upper wick, and almost a gravestone doji, volume climax on the daily time frame. Hourly, higher low. We lost a support level down at 936. So hourly uptrend is lost. Now we're looking for daily consolidation. And if we form an hourly lower high on a bounce attempt and then drop to a lower low, that will confirm the hourly trend change, and we'll look for further daily consolidation. Bulls have a lot of space to work with. Holding 850 would be ideal. If we pull back more than that, again, an equilibrium would be the most likely scenario after that. TLRY had a big dump, and I'm not one to do too much speculating, but looking at that volume, highest volume that we've seen in 3 or 4 months, and you got to think, really, you're not going to sell those shares that just came unlocked? It's a bit suspect, but we closed down at the low. We had an all-out dump day today. Significant weakness. The hourly RSI is not yet oversold. If you turn on extended hours, we got right down to these oversold levels. Support after 82 is 80 and then 79.07. So if we see weakness first thing tomorrow and flush down another 5+%, we'll be watching for an hourly oversold bounce to potentially play out. But as far as the daily chart goes, because of the size of this pullback, that's obviously a red flag for bulls, and the volume is a notable red flag as well. So still likely to form a higher low compared to 68.10 because of how much space we have to work with. But you look at this weekly time frame, and it looks like just a weekly lower high being set. And let's look at some of these other names as well. ACB on the weekly, upper wick, potential that top is being set and the need to consolidate. And we're going to have to see further daily consolidation for that to be the case, for us to be confident weekly consolidation is coming. This is just step number 1, profit-taking day number 1. APHA pulling back as well, daily inside bar, bear break at 907. Nice follow-through for the bears for a few percentage points once that level did break. Support is down at 846. And then we're looking down at 846, $8, and then 744. So not a whole lot of follow through the last couple of days. The attention clearly being stolen by CGC, and even ACB has been huge. But obviously APHA is not seeing that same big time bull movement to the upside. Holding on and doing, bulls aren't complaining, but when they see some of the other moves that these names have been making in the past week, it leaves a little bit to be desired. Cron continues to reject from 14 psychological, unable to close over that level, and we're now pulling back. We're going to look for a higher low on the daily to form, and we can still consider that a double top. And now we're going to look for a weekly higher low, and then we'll see if the bulls can break that. If we get a trend change on oil and SPY and weekly higher lows on all these names, we'll look for the potential of that bull break towards all-time highs. But what the market does is going to have a significant impact on whether we head back to all-time highs on Cron, in my opinion. So the hourly trend being lost was the indication that daily consolidation was coming. We had support down at 1352 and 1341, and we actually broke those levels yesterday in the afternoon, started to take out a couple of those supports, broke the other support that had still held 1341 this morning, and then bears just kept control for the majority of today as we started that daily consolidation. And again, when you have this pattern of higher lows every single day for the last 3, 6, 9, 11 days in a row, the first red flag for the bulls was the break of 1350 to change that pattern, and nice follow through for the bears on that break. KSHB was a huge dump out of nowhere. Almost looked news related, but no news came out. If something comes out negative in terms of raising funds through dilution or any bot deals in the next couple of days, that just screams insider information. There's also some insider sells going on in the $6 range to be aware of recently. But it's a huge pullback. We knew we were very overextended. And again, this is another name. Lose the higher low every single day pattern. As soon as we broke 672 today, all out dump, bears in full control. I did end up playing this oversold bounce. Only trade I made today. And that oversold bounce was just a quick flip. Nothing special. But hourly RSI is still oversold at this point. Inside bar, if we see a bear break, and if we see the low of today break 572 tomorrow, that hourly RSI will be right back to oversold, and we'll be looking down at 548 as the next level. So the weekly time frame just is looking back here. Obviously, we were very overextended, and now we need the higher low to form. Volume is a red flag. Size of the pullback on the first day of consolidation is a red flag, but there's going to be a lot of volatility, in my opinion, on this name over the next week or two, and we'll see where that daily higher low forms. MPX pulling back, unable to break the high of yesterday and rejecting, and then the sector consolidating a bit today, obviously pulling back MPX as well. We're watching for the vote to go through and watching for potential spin-off shares. Key support in the short term is 92. But again, you look at this weekly time frame, and we should not be surprised to see weekly consolidation. Bearish reversal candlestick on the weekly is forming after a 3-week massive bull move of 40%. Weekly higher lows have to form, and we should be anticipating that that's going to happen sometime in the next few weeks. And trying for that daily higher low still. Closed at the low of the day yesterday, had that bear momentum. Have we changed the hourly trend is the question, and the answer is no. We had a bull break. We broke the lower highs on the hourly, but we did not confirm with a higher low and a higher high, following through to change that trend. So we have our low, high of the bounce is 142, higher low, 128, and the bulls had to break 142 to change the hourly trend and give us confidence that the daily higher low has been established at this point. Weekly, already looking like some consolidation starting with the inside bar. OGI, inside bar on the daily. If that breaks bearish at 615 tomorrow, we're going to look for a healthy daily pullback, and we're going to look for a higher low compared to 530. Resistance is 646 and 656, so no red flags at this point, but inside bar breaking bearish tells us the daily consolidation is coming, and I would anticipate with how we consolidated most other names today that that's the more likely scenario. HEXO had all these tops, yet another name with higher lows every day for 7 days in a row. We broke that yesterday. We followed with consolidation today. Looking for the higher low to form on the daily, have to change the hourly trend back in favor of the bulls to find that daily higher low. And the close near the low of the day tells us we're not close to finding that just yet. So healthy consolidation, no red flags here. Obviously just comparing HEXO, you just see declining bear volume, no significant pullback. But again, you look at a name like KSHB, red flag, size of the pullback and volume, and TLRY, red flag on the daily, size of the pullback and that volume. T-God, to wrap it up, daily inside bar, close at the low of the day, odds favor a bear break. If 295 breaks, we're going to look for a higher low on the daily compared to 241 for the bulls to try and keep the uptrend on the daily intact. Again, we look at the weekly chart, looking for a weekly lower high to be set, and we have to form a higher low and then see continuation to change the weekly trends. So overall, healthy consolidation across most names. KSHB and TLRY stand out to not be the case, but we have to anticipate that weekly consolidation to form higher lows on a lot of these names is coming. We're watching SPY for weekly consolidation as well. The bulls are in full control of SPY right now. So it's almost the kind of thing where, you know, the MJ sector starting to pull back right now. I'm almost wondering, is that a little bit of a clue that SPY is going to see some consolidation in the very near term as well? So keeping a close eye on everything, no red flags on most names, healthy consolidation, and watching for hourly oversold bounces. When you have a massive bull move on the daily time frame, usually the first hourly oversold bounces, you get some decent follow through. So hope you're well, hope you're better than me, hope you do good things, and I will probably see you tomorrow.